So yesterday's Nintendo Direct was absolutely massive. There were so many things shown off, and honestly, I think it was so unbelievably close to being one of the most perfect Directs we could have gotten. It was just missing a couple of things in my opinion. I think it was missing something big like the brand new Mario that we've been hoping for, or a big Donkey Kong game, Pikmin, or Metroid. One of those would have been really good, but for me, there was another thing that kind of really let me down. I knew Splatoon 3 was going to be shown off, and I've been having speculation about this game and Breath of the Wild for the longest of times, because both of those games looked very familiar to their first games that have come out, and they didn't look like they moved away from what they've, already been in the past from their first games. And I knew Nintendo was going to show off Splatoon 3 here in this Direct in some capacity, and I was really expecting it to be a huge new mode. I knew it was going to be a new mode because I knew it was too early to kind of dive into the depth of this game and talk about the multiplayer even more. And I knew there was going to be some type of, big mode, the next big mode, the Salmon Run replacement this time. Especially since we've seen that, a Salmonid is part of the story mode this time around. And it seemed like the story was kind of taking place with the Salmonid. There's even been rumors saying that the Salmonid were actually good people, and that since we killed them in the second game, there were going to be bears in space coming back to Earth called the Mammalians. That's what it's called anyways. The story mode is the Return of the Mammalians. So it all was kind of making sense, I thought that we wiped all the Salmonid out the second game, we were done with them, but no, they're just kind of still here. They never left. So when I first saw the revealed trailer of Splatoon 3, I think I said the same thing as mostly everybody, is why? Why? We have Splatoon 2 on the Switch. We have a Splatoon game. Why would we need another one? And I thought it was going to be just completely story-based and stuff, but no, it's legit another Splatoon. And so much so that I think it's literally the same game, just with more updates. This is kind of where I'm coming from now when I say I am very, and I mean, at first I was a little afraid. I am extremely afraid about this game. I seriously am, and it's for good reason. You guys know I love Splatoon. Splatoon, only having 2 games has made its way up to probably one of my favorite Nintendo IPs of all time. I played the life out of Splatoon 1, and this kind of saddens me. I was really expecting them to go somewhere big with this game, and I'm going to kind of break down what I'm talking about and, give you guys obviously evidence as to what I'm talking about, because I want this game to be good. I'm not trying to just hate for no reason, but what I've seen so far is discouraging as heck. I mean, seriously. So, straight up, the game looks exactly the same as the first 2 games. You have multiplayer, it seems like most of the same weapons are back. Of course, you got a couple of new specials and maybe like one type of movement change with swimming in the ink. But for the most part, it's the same. It's the same type of battles. It's the same stuff that we've seen over and over again. It's 4v4. It was Turf War. They didn't even, I'm sure there's going to be extra game modes, of course. But, I mean, it was just straightforward. Like, the map sizes are still the same. They still have the same design layout. It just all looks pretty much the same. Even, like, the new Inkopolis Square Plaza, whatever it's called this time around, it's literally the same type of setup. You're in this small little city with different shops that you can visit. And I'm not expecting any of that to change drastically, but I mean, like, my big point is, why is that coming on, the Switch when we already have something like that? Once again, that's what it keeps coming back to, is we already have this on the Switch. Why are they bringing this back on the Switch? But a lot of this is just the same from, the multiplayer aspect, at least right now. Now, like, I will continue talking about the rest of the game with the single player and then obviously Salmon Run, but, I mean, this looks just one-to-one. Like, it would be hard to tell if you gave this to somebody what Splatoon game this was, whether it was 1, 2, or 3. It'd be really hard to tell. And I think it's also kind of disappointing. Lots of these maps just look basic. Like, they're just, like this map right here is just, they're just in the city. Like, there's nothing to it. There's nothing unique about it. It's just, like, stuff that we've seen before. And they're also bringing back maps from, like, the first game with the museum. And it's just like, why are you we're probably going to have maps from the second game back as well. And it's just like, why buy this game when you can just play them now on Splatoon 2? And I know people bring up this desert map, but it's like, once again, it's nothing special. It's nothing crazy. It just looks like another rendition of something that we've seen before. And, it's nothing crazy. There's no cool elements like ink lines and zip lines and stuff to get on, and any turrets or anything. Like, it's just, it's basic. So I'll jump into story mode real quick, because I feel like it is the last hope of this game. There's still some stuff that I've seen that just does not excite me, but it is, like, seriously the last hope. It has the most potential. First off, we've seen the Inkling running around in this open territory in the desert, and it looks amazing. I mean, we even see an open territory in the snow where the shuttle launch is, but, we could see things around, and I think we've speculated now that this is probably going to be around the same hub world type of area, where you come back after missions and stuff, because we do get to see some levels, and once again, They're little floating obstacle courses that we've gotten from Splatoon 1 and 2. And I think a lot of people were hoping for a full Splatoon adventure mode this time around instead of these little obstacle course missions that we've seen over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, this is a screenshot from the story mode, and tell me this doesn't just look the same. Like, yes, you got a little salmonid buddy on your back, but you have a slosher, a weapon that's already been existing for a while now, and it just, more Octarians to fight with the same type. Like, there's the one with the shield on the top, and, it's just these little floating obstacle courses. It's pretty much the same layout as Splatoon 1 and 2, and I know there's going to be some good things within the story mode. I guarantee you the story mode is probably going to be the best one we have gotten yet, and that even includes the Octo expansion, but still, I just wanted them to push it a little further. But this is the one thing that I think is still making me kind of happy about this game. But I gotta move on to the last thing, the thing that we just got, that just kind of broke this game down apart for me. My friend was literally watching this with me, and he is a very big Splatoon fan as well. He played literally the heck out of Splatoon 2, more than I've seen most people play. And he was watching this trailer of Salmon Run. The Next Wave is what it's called, by the way. Terrible name. But he was watching this trailer, and he goes, literally, if I showed this to anybody that played Splatoon 2, and I just showed them this trailer, they would all think that this was Splatoon 2 still. Like, this is almost a one-to-one creation of what we've seen in the Salmon Run mode in Splatoon 2. The islands are still small. There's nothing different with the changes. You still have the same Salmonid bosses. You have a couple new ones, of course, that's going to happen, but, like, it's essentially the same. The weapons are still the same. The mechanics are still the same. You're still collecting eggs. Oh, we could throw them now. That changes the whole game mode. No, I mean, it's still exactly the same thing. Like, nothing has really changed with this. The background in the sky is still the same things in the background, the same color. Literally, I mean, they didn't even make anything different with this. I thought if we were to have Salmon Run return, we'd have some bigger levels. You know how in Call of Duty Zombies, where you go inside of buildings and you unlock new paths and make your way through this giant house or through a giant, neighborhood or something, and you get to open new areas and find new places to go. It's just still like you're on one island fighting these things, and it's just like, this is exactly the same thing that we've been doing in Splatoon 2, and it still makes me beg the question, why would someone want to buy this game if they've had Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch? This is Splatoon 2, the reveal trailer of Salmon Run the first time. Tell me that this isn't the same trailer. Like, tell me that there's something super different with this. This one bothers me the most because I already didn't want this mode to return because I felt like they could have come up with something bigger. Like, more of maybe like a big team battle mode where there's 10v10 Inklings and there's vehicles you can ride and objectives to do. Almost like a Battlefield, Inkling style game. Something that just expands the multiplayer beyond just 4 people on a team. Whether it be 4v4 or 4 co-op. Like, I wanted to see something bigger, grander. A Splatoon Battle Royale. Something that expanded on the Inklings, and just the multiplayer aspect. And this is still just more of the same. I'm not saying this game isn't going to be fun or it's going to be bad or anything like that, but I guarantee you when reviews come out and people start playing this game, they're going to quickly realize I could just keep playing Splatoon 2. Like, nothing is really all that different with this game, at least from what I've seen so far. Obviously, I think there's going to be a Splatoon Direct before it comes out this summer, and there's going to be more information regarding this game, but this is just kind of disappointing right now. There's really no reason to own this game, if you have Splatoon 2, because it's just more and more and more of the same. And that very same thing has been scaring me with Zelda, that, we're going to have the same world, and it's going to be a lot of stuff that we've already done, and Nintendo's just going to have a couple new shrines and dungeons and stuff and call it, a new game. Now, Zelda's a completely different story. We don't know really much of anything about this game, so it's almost impossible to say right now. We've just seen some small things that look like things we've seen before, so we're going to have to wait a little while until that, probably E3. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like Nintendo sequels are just DLC. Like, seriously, it's just like DLC ideas that they had for the first game or for the second game, and they're just like, let's throw this into a, a $60 package. Like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling too good about Splatoon right now. Now, if you are excited about Splatoon 3, that's great. Be excited. Like, more power to you. I am still going to probably love the game and play it a lot. But, one of the reasons why I didn't play as long with Splatoon 2 as I should have is because it felt a lot like the first game, but that makes sense. You know, it came out on the Wii U, kind of revamped the game on Switch. That's what Nintendo has been doing with a lot of their games, with the remasters and remakes. Just kind of getting a new audience into the game that has never really owned a Wii U and played this game before. So I get that, but this is the third game now. This is the third game, and it's really starting to become, I hate to say it, like a Call of Duty. You know, people have been just slamming Call of Duty for all of the games feeling the same, and the game modes are all the same, and, you know, every year it's just the same, and Splatoon is getting there, unfortunately. They've got to, you know, hopefully there's still some stuff that we don't know about. Hopefully multiplayer actually does have some, like, big game mode changes, and, you know, maybe there are some big team battles and stuff that we just don't know about yet. I just don't see it happening with this in the game. You know, I don't know. We'll see, but this was just a weird thing for them to throw in a direct and advertise for Splatoon, because really all this was showing, hey, we got some new bosses for Salmon Run. That was it. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited for Splatoon 3? Are you feeling kind of the same way I am, where it's just kind of more of the same? Let me know everything down below. And if you want to find out more information about Splatoon 3 and everything within that Nintendo Direct and just upcoming Nintendo games in general, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo all the time. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.